All right, welcome to the South African Medico Legal Report Daily Tips and Updates. This is for the 11th of March 2025. And today's tip that I'd like to share with you is to watch the judge's pen. This is obviously when you're testifying and when you're in court, very important that you learn the tip and get into the habit of watching the judge's pen. Why is that? The reason is that in almost every case where you testify, the judge will be taking notes, and usually they take longhand notes and they write down verbatim what it is that you're saying in your evidence. This is particularly so with regard to expert evidence, where the judge wants to keep a careful record of what is being said. Now, what's important about watching the judge's pen is that you get the pace of your delivery right from the beginning. So if when you get into the witness box, as soon as your advocate starts leading your evidence, you start watching the judge's pen, you watch the judge write until he or she pauses, and then you will know to continue with your evidence. If you don't watch the judge's pen, what can tend to happen is that because you will be feeling nervous and because you've got a lot to say, you will start speeding up. The judge won't follow what you're saying. They'll start stopping you, interrupting you. You'll get flustered. The judge may become frustrated. It's difficult for your advocate to remember where you are in the evidence, and it all starts becoming a little bit loose at the edges. However, if you do watch the judge's pen, there are a couple of things that happen. Firstly, by watching the judge's pen, you get the pace right. But in addition to that, there's some subtle but very important benefits. So by watching the judge's pen, you are creating a bond between yourself and the judge. And you will find that the judge will then learn to almost trust you with the pace of your delivery. And so if in effect you're almost dictating to the judge, and when the judge gets to the end of a phrase, he or she will be inclined to nod or indicate to you, yes, continue. That's very important, because it's almost as if you and the judge are working together in a subtle way. And it creates the right mood. It gets the judge to trust you with the pace of your delivery. The judge feels that that he or she can, in a way, start relying on the way that you're giving evidence. Obviously, your evidence needs to be analyzed, but that, I found, is a very powerful tip for any witness, but particularly expert witnesses, where sometimes complicated evidence needs to be led. So just remember, watch the judge's pen. You'll settle into the rhythm, and as the matter progresses, you'll have the right rhythm from the beginning, and then you'll settle into that pace which will be appropriate. The other point to bear in mind is make sure that you keep watching the judge's pen all the way through your evidence. Don't just do that in the beginning. Make sure that you're also watching when you get cross-examined. Very important. The cross-examiner can ask you a question, but you must answer to the judge. And by watching the judge's pen, it prevents you from getting flustered. It will in fact slow your answers down, which will give you time to think, and it will continue building that rapport with the judge. It will also help you to answer counsel but talk to the judge. And that's the point I've just made, but to elaborate on that. So the approach in the witness box should be the advocates ask you the question, but your answer is directed not so much at the advocates, but I'd say 80% at the judge. You can divide your time, be polite, make eye contact, nod, obviously just be natural, but most of your delivery will be directed towards the judge. Thank you for your time. I hope you found that useful. If you did, then the South African Medico Legal Reports Expert Witness Guide is a clear guide to expert evidence, and you will find more information about the trial stage is covered in paragraph 4.3 of the Expert Witness Guide. Thank you. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next Tips and Updates video.